Hello my friends, welcome back to my channel. My name is Novella. Normally on Wednesdays I do a midweek check-in, but it's the end of the year, so it's time for another list. I did my fiction list, the top 10 fiction that I've read this year already, so today is my top non-fiction books, but it isn't a top 10. Not that I have read less than 10 non-fiction books, no, but these 5 that I've selected are so stellar, so amazing and special and out of this world that putting other normal non-fiction books like that are very good, like Nazi Millionaires, or I've read many very good books. 5 stars even, but these are 5-star plus. I selected 5 because they moved me, they surprised me, they enraged me, they fascinated me more, and that's actually the word. They fascinated me in so many ways. And I really, really want you to read them. Some of my choices aren't so common. Well, none of them actually. But they are worth your time and they are worth your money if you have to buy them, if you can't find them in the library. I stand behind these books, not 100%, but 1,000%. It is 5 of the best books in total. Also the novels that I've read in my life. And that's a huge statement. So let's start. There are 2 books that I only have on Kindle, and that's Congo by David van Reybrouck. He is a Belgian author. He is an amazing journalist, and he writes with a heart. And he wanted to write down the history of Congo, or the people of Congo. But he did that not with a European eye. I mean, he really was interested in the history of Congo, not through a European's eye, but through their eyes, how they perceived it. And the story starts with the first man who came down the river of Congo and set land on foot. And for a lot of African people, white means death. Everything that looks white is associated with death, like bones or And when they saw a white person for the very first time, they thought they saw ghosts or that death arrived. And boy, were they right. So he talks about how Congo was invaded in a way, how it was colonialized. Well, first it was bought by King Leopold II of Belgium, who was a gruesome man. And he had no respect for life, especially of black people life. And he was, he was an opportunist, and he wanted to make money as much as possible. So first they started with rubber, and then they found all kinds of minerals. And so, the story starts there. To tell the story, he only used African documents and, testimonies. So he really wanted to tell their story. And it is often very painful for us, especially me as a Belgian, to read what we have done there, the atrocities that we have done there, and the harm we have caused to the African or Congolese people. And then he moves forward to the independence, the Battle of the Independence. And it is very engrossing to read, very interesting. And also now, and for me, Congo is not only a story of death and exploitation, but it's also a story of resilience and hope. And for me, I'm 100% that our future is in Africa. The real future is in Africa. And there's so many people that are so brilliant and talented, and yeah, they have so much to show us and learn us and teach us. And I really think that this is a book that is groundbreaking, heart-wrenching, and absolutely beautiful. Well written, well researched, and only David van Reybrouck doesn't excuse himself, you know. He doesn't search for excuses, and that is what's so brilliant about this book. So yeah, Congo by David van Reybrouck. And then I also read a book about Africa, but also written with a lot of love and respect for the people. But this time as a colonialist, and that colonialist was Karen Blixen. She is the famous Danish author who wrote the magnificent book Out of Africa. Now, if you hear Out of Africa, you would think, well, that's a novel. No, it isn't. It isn't at all. It is non-fiction. And I had it on my Kindle, so I downloaded it, and I thought, yeah, this is gonna be cheesy, but it isn't. It isn't. Oh, it is so brilliant and well written. And she talks about her time she spent in Africa and her relationship with the local people and the respect she has. It's written with so much love. It is a brilliant, brilliant book. Absolutely brilliant. Out of Africa by Karen Blixen. So forget the image of Robert Redford and Meryl Streep when he washes her hair in the middle of the jungle. No, none of that. That's not in the book. Not in the book at all. The book doesn't talk about that. It is actually, they just used that title of the book to tell Karen Blixen's story. But it's not the story you will read in Out of Africa, so it does a huge disservice to the book. And it's brilliant, a brilliant read. Then another book, I've talked about this book twice already, I believe. And I'm really convinced that people don't want to read it because of the person. It's a biography. It is about Marina Abramovic. I can imagine that people either don't know her or don't care about her or just don't think she's a likable person. This is a biography of Marina Abramovic, Walk Through Walls. This is a fascinating story. It is amazing, amazing, and I keep thinking about this book. And at first I started reading and I couldn't grasp why people were speaking so highly of this book. Not people on BookTube. I've never seen somebody talking about this book. I haven't really looked for it, but it didn't pop up, that's for sure. But I know people, and mostly authors, that talk about this book. And when I started reading it, I thought, this is so simple. I don't know, I don't understand why it is so interesting to read. But then I kept on reading, and after a page or 5, I was sucked into her world. And what a fascinating woman this is, what a highly intelligent woman this is. And I know she does performance art. I know that everybody is a fan of that. They prefer paintings or writing or sculptures, something tangible. But when you read her memoir, you can't be anything but fascinated by this book. It is so well done. Her story is so captivating and imaginative and fascinating. It's very deep and profound. It's touching, and she makes no excuses for herself. It's unforgiving. Yeah, it's a must read if you want to read about an intelligent, powerful, often disliked person, woman. Read this book. It is really, really, really good. Then the second best book I've read, novels included, is this. Letters, Summer 1926. Letters, Summer 1926. These are the letters between Boris Pasternak, Rainer Maria Rilke, and Marina Tsvetaeva. So, two poets and Boris Pasternak. They started writing each other, and they talk about their art. They talk about others' art. They talk about each other's work, and they comment on that. And they are fascinated by each other's work. Now, first, Marina Tsvetaeva was falling for Rainer Marina Rilke, but he was very badly ill by that time, and he died shortly after, I believe. I'm not sure. And then she had a relationship with Boris Pasternak. It is amazing to see the dynamic between those three people. How they motivated each other to become even better. How Pasternak could whine a lot. And how Rilke had respect for Marina. And she was a brilliant poet. I haven't read anything of her yet, but I will. This is a fascinating insight of that period of time with three super talents. And it's so brilliant. And this is Susan Sontag's favorite book of all time. And she also wrote a preface. Oh man, I have a bad time. I have a bad day. It's pure literature what you're reading here, because they don't just write a letter. It's not like we write emails or texts. When you write a letter, you take your time, you think, you compose yourself, you think of a beginning, a middle, and an end. You think about the words you choose, because otherwise you have to start all over. You can't just delete. It is literature at its best. And for me, it is an absolute must read. Letters, Summer 1926. The letters between Boris Pasternak, Marina Tsvetaeva, Rainer Maria Rilke. The last book I want to talk about is maybe the best book I ever read in my entire life. And that's a bold statement, that's a big statement. It's even better than all the non-fiction books I've ever read, because this is real. This is the work of an amazing talent. And it's this one. Patricia Highsmith, Her Notes and Diaries. This 1,000 pages of pure brilliance. Pure brilliance. It is raw. It is painful. It is heartbreaking. It is fascinating. It is engrossing. She was one hell of a woman. And I find that these notes and diaries are even better than Susan Sontag's. And that's a bold claim, I know. But Susan Sontag, her first one, Reborn, I believe it was called, was brilliant. But this is the same brilliance all the way through. And I find that her second, Susan Sontag's second and third, you can already feel that she was very much aware that people were going to read what she was writing. And this is totally different. Patricia Highsmith didn't want us to read this. So it was hidden somewhere, deep down in a closet. And yeah, they published it anyway, long after her passing. And I'm glad we can read it because it's, you can feel, she starts with this book with taking notes, I believe at the age of 14 or 16. I'm not quite sure anymore. And you can already feel that she was talented and very, very intelligent. And she talks about the book she reads, and yeah, she does writing exercises, stuff like that. And then later on, she talks about the life she has in college and all the women she meets, and of course also about her drinking problem. Although she never found it a problem, but she really had a huge problem. And yeah, it's also fascinating to see how she grows as an author, how she develops her talent, and also you witness her decline after a while. And it's painful to read. She talks about her snails, that she takes her snails with her as a pet to parties, and people are upset when she arrives there with a handbag and some lettuce in her handbag and a couple of 100 snails, and yeah, for her they're pets. And she doesn't get it why people are offended by that, and yeah, there are a lot of things that she doesn't get, but that are necessary for her. And she always craved to be amongst people and party, and oh boy, did she party. She partied hard. But yeah, it was also her downfall. And actually, in a way, she lived her life like a male writer. And yeah, it is so well done. I have my art, and my art alone is true. I have my art, and my art alone is true. Anyway, my next video will be about either about a woman, or I have been changing my mind because there's an author, a female author, that we don't talk about anymore because of the genre she chose to write in. But I want to talk about her. I really want to revive her talent. And so maybe this is Friday or the Friday after that, but I really want to talk about her. So yeah, I'm going to do more research. Maybe I do a video tomorrow, Friday, or maybe I don't. And on Sunday, I would like to do a live feed, a live coffee clutch to start 2023. And of course, it's also the official start of Classics and Company. We start with Dangerous Liaisons by Choderlos de Laclos. And our co-host, our wonderful co-host, is Elizabeth from Book and Books. And I'm really looking forward to it. If you want to join us on Discord, please do. It is wonderful. And I've noticed that people are already starting to talk to each other and make friendships. So it is wonderful. So yeah, thank you for watching. I see you on Friday, that's for sure. And talk to you later. Bye-bye.